Okay, so something huge just happened, and you might have missed it. OpenAI, quietly, with no big announcement, launched a new platform called Frontier. And look, if you're a business leader, this is a signal you absolutely cannot ignore. We're going to break down why this isn't just another piece of tech. No, this is about completely rewriting the rules of management as we know it.
Right, let's just let that sink in for a second. This is the core idea, the whole ball game right here. It's not just a new feature or a better version of ChatGPT. This is a fundamental, ground-up shift. We're leaving behind the world of AI as a helpful little assistant and stepping into a future where AI is actually part of your workforce.
So let's break that down, because it's a really critical difference. For the last couple years, we've treated AI like an intern or an assistant, right? It gives you advice, it helps you draft an email, but it's always standing on the sidelines, outside the real process. The big change now is thinking of AI as a digital employee. These agents don't just suggest what to do, they actually do it. They're on the team, inside the workflow, executing tasks.
So why is this leap from assistant to employee so important right now? Well, it's because most companies are falling into what you could call the AI efficiency trap, and it's a real problem.
And I bet this sounds familiar to a lot of you. You've got AI tools for everyone. People are writing reports faster, summarizing meetings in seconds. Individual productivity seems to be going up, but is the company as a whole actually getting better, stronger, faster? Not really. In fact, a lot of the time, it just adds another layer of complexity, right? The core business just isn't changing.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The problem isn't that we need a smarter AI model. No way. The real gap, the missing piece, is the management infrastructure. We've got these incredibly powerful digital agents, but we're trying to manage them with old-school thinking. It's like having a Formula One car, but no racetrack. We're missing the system to actually manage them like employees.
And that is exactly where something like Frontier comes in. See, this isn't just another chatbot. Think of it as an operating system, an OS, for this brand new type of digital workforce.
So what is it really? Frontier is basically the HR and management hub for your digital employees. It's the place you go to hire them, to give them access to the systems they need, to set their permissions, and to audit what they've been doing. You know, all the stuff you do for a human employee. It's really the central nervous system for a company that runs on both humans and AI.
Okay, so if you have a new kind of employee, you're going to need a new kind of management. The old playbook for managing people, you can pretty much throw it out the window. The game has changed.
So your job as a manager is shifting. It's less about micromanaging people and checking their work, and more about being an architect. You're designing a system built on these three pillars. First up, permissions. What is this AI agent actually allowed to do? What buttons can it push? Second, context. What does it know about our business to make smart decisions? And third, orchestration. How do we make the AI and our human team members play nicely together in the sandbox?
Now, let's double-click on that context piece, because honestly, this might be the most important and most overlooked part of the whole equation. An AI agent is useless without knowing your business inside and out. It needs to understand your strategy, your key metrics, your standard operating procedures. Heck, it even needs to know about past mistakes and what the boss really wants. This shared context is the brain of your digital employee. It's what separates a dumb tool from a truly valuable team member.
All right, this leads us to the big, scary, and absolutely urgent question that every single leader needs to be asking right now. Once you give an AI the keys to the car, how do you make sure it doesn't crash it?
I mean, think about this simple but terrifying question. If an AI can create a purchase order with a single click, what's its spending limit? $1,000? $1 million? This isn't a tech problem, it's a governance problem. If you don't define its authority, you are inviting a whole new category of disaster we can call agent overreach.
And the financial risks here are, well, they're huge and they're immediate. Without crystal clear rules, an AI could go on a spending spree, completely fail a compliance check, or start ordering from vendors you've blacklisted. And the scary part? It can do all of this in milliseconds, long before any human even knows what's happening.
Or let's take another example. What about your supply chain? An AI could analyze all the data and in seconds come up with what it thinks is a more optimal plan. But is it allowed to just go ahead and change the master plan for the whole company? If it doesn't get the real-world constraints, its perfect plan could cause a complete operational meltdown. You have to decide where that line is.
And then there's your reputation. This is a big one. If an AI is automatically emailing your customers, what are its boundaries? What kind of discounts can it offer? What tone of voice should it use? It only takes one weird, off-brand, or just plain wrong email to damage a customer relationship you spent years building.
So what does this all mean for managers? Well, your role is doing a complete 180. You're shifting from being an inspector who just checks work after it's done to being an orchestrator who designs the entire system of collaboration. Your real value isn't in managing people anymore. It's in defining the boundaries for the AI and, crucially, stepping in to handle the weird exceptions and make those tough judgment calls that only a human can.
Okay, I know this is a lot. It's a huge shift, and it can feel pretty overwhelming. But the good news is there's a playbook, a roadmap you can follow to get ready for this future.
Think of it in 3 stages. Right now, today, most of us are in stage 1. We're using AI for individual efficiency. The near future is stage 2, where these AI agents start to actually become part of our core workflows. But the real goal, the destination, is stage 3, the agent enterprise. This is where your whole organization is redesigned from the ground up around human-agent collaboration. And let me be clear, the winners won't be the ones with the best AI. They'll be the ones who master this new way of organizing work.
Which brings us to the single most important question you need to be asking in your next leadership meeting. Forget the tech for a second. The real question is, are you ready to manage a hybrid workforce of humans and AI?
So here's a quick readiness checklist. I'm not going to read them all, but just scan through these 10 points. The big takeaway here is simple. If you look at this list and you can't confidently say yes to at least 5 of these, then your number 1 priority should not be buying new AI platforms. It should be building the management foundation to handle them.
So let's make this super practical. What are your first 3 moves? Here they are. Number 1, start the Shared Context project now. Begin documenting all that critical business knowledge that lives in people's heads. Number 2, draft a digital employee permissions list. And listen, this is not an IT job. This is a CEO-level task about defining power and authority in your company. And finally, number 3, launch a small, controlled pilot program. Pick a non-critical area and test this entire loop. Permissions, context, auditing, the whole thing. The era of the agent enterprise is here, folks. The question isn't if you'll use AI agents anymore. The only question that matters is how are you going to manage them?